Show with Jody
and Alex.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about, something that happens in life like all the time. Change. And it's just constantly happening in our life. You know, there's little changes like every day. Life is just changing. Especially when your children are young, like things are like everything's changing. Their minds are changing and everything. The weather's changing and the seasons are changing. Right now we're in April, so it's just beginning. So it's really beautiful and things are starting to, get slightly warmer and, that excitement of spring coming. I know the calendar said it was spring a while ago, but,
we still got snow on the ground.
The calendar, not necessarily.
Not much, no.
So change always happens. And we've been talking a long time about, something like Alex and I are, into something. I mentioned a while ago that Alex and I have been, there's been something going on that we want to do. And it's about a change that we've made, a personal change. And, sometimes, like I said, there's little changes and then there's big changes. And then there's changes that we get to control fully. Mm-hmm. That, it's like our decision. And then there's other changes that happen that are without our they're without our reach of control. Is that the word? Anyways.
Yeah, we're out of our control. Yeah.
Yes. So, like, for instance, my grandma sold her cottage. So, that was, it's a change. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we might have been able to do something if we wanted to, like, buy it kind of thing. But it's something that's like, we can't just talk her into keeping it. And we understand her need to make changes. And then, and that's just like, there's constant changes. So, however, when you're making your own changes, it can be there can be a lot of fear around it when you're deciding. Like, I'd love to actually talk to my grandma at some point and just see like how she feels about it. Cause that's a big change for her too. The cottage was built by, my great grandparents. And it's been in the family, it was always there kind of thing. Like when the land opened for cottages, that's when they built. They were one of the first ones there. So it's this really amazing part of history. And that, when that change happens, it can be very emotional. And then, like I said, when we make our own changes, it can be very fearful and emotional as well.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, your grandma's decision to sell her cottage, it's been in the family for a very long time. That's a very good example of something where you have no control over that change whatsoever. Or
it wasn't my decision to make.
Yeah, it wasn't your decision. It wasn't anyone's decision but hers to make, and how that affects you. And then there's other, not to belabor a point, but like the teachers' strike, that's their decision, their change.
And I honor their need to do what they feel they need to do.
Right. So
doesn't mean I don't get frustrated with the situation.
Yes. I'm trying to think of a change that we have control, like a change that you might have control over, or that I have control.
You can change jobs.
You change jobs.
Actually, a fun fact: I was trying to change a job when I was working in a warehouse, and I really was unhappy, and I was looking and looking and looking. Like, I think I eventually just gave up, and then the universe just kind of gave me a shove out the door, and I got laid off. And as upsetting as I was at that very moment, I was very grateful at the same time that the universe gave me that shove. So I wanted that change, but I wasn't prepared to leave a job I didn't like without having another one. Mm-hmm. But instead, it was just like, nope, like you're done. This is hurting your soul. Like, get out the door kind of thing. So, I wanted that change, but at the same time, I was dragging my feet. So, it's amazing what can happen. So it's kind of like, I wanted that change, but
you're also holding yourself back.
Yes, exactly. But with change, with any kind of change, it can be a change that you have control over, a change that you do not have control over. It always brings emotions, always. Mm-hmm. Like with the cottage being sold, it definitely brought up a lot of emotion for me because it was a safe place. I grew up there. My parents lived 5 minutes from there, and I literally spent my summers there. And I had friends that, like, their cottage was sold long time ago when I was a teenager. But I have, like, history there, and it was definitely a very safe place. So I had to work through those feelings. But I want to also point out that we've made changes in our own life, like deciding to have children, to start a family. they all, like, we decided that, and we had to work through our own fears, our own, like, what ifs and whatever showed up. So regardless of if you get to decide on the change or not, there's emotions, and it's just, again, honoring where you're at. And then just, it's so hard. Sometimes you have to figure out when it's your ego playing tricks on you, and when it's your intuition. And that was where, with what's going on with our life right now, making changes and decisions and stuff, I've really had to sit back and be like, hey, is this the ego freaking me out, fear of the unknown kind of thing? Or is this like my intuition, say stop? It's always my ego when fear is in there. So when there's love, fear can't be there. So it's like coming from a place of love. And when I find that I'm in fear, I step back and I start, being grateful for what I have, and just surrounding my place with loving energy. So then I can feel like if it's fear. And then the other one, like I mentioned before, is that I talk to the universe, and it's like in my guardian angels and things. And I really bring that component in now. So I don't have to do this alone, and I have to act from a place, of discomfort, like not knowing, because we can make decisions in our life based from fear, anger, or we can make these decisions from a place of empowerment, love, and just just so in line with our own beings. And that's what we're going to talk about next episode. Next episode, promise, we're going to share what our change is and why we're doing it. And it's back with so much love. So stay tuned for that one. But right now, it's like changes, the season's changing, and it really is something that is constantly happening in our life. And some of it you don't even realize. So here's an example. Like I might not see some relatives for a while, and then I see them, and I don't feel like I'm growing or aging, like not growing. I'm constantly, learning, but I don't feel like I'm aging. And then you see somebody and you're like, oh, time is not standing still. So it's just being aware that life is constantly changing, regardless if we want it to or not. So how do you deal with change?
How do I deal with change? I panic. No. Not always. No, I'm kidding.
Lean into love.
Yes.
Be like, what would love do?
No, I was just kidding. So
sure you are.
depending on the kind of change, but yeah, I do. I'm getting better, but there was always this like knee-jerk reaction to it because a lot of people are uncomfortable with change.
So panic. You would panic.
And I'm not. It depends on your definition of panic.
That's what jumped into your head. Honor it.
So it would. I've been been slowing down more and been like, okay, yeah, change is happening. So, is it something that I can exert some sort of control over and guide, or is it something that I just have to let go of? And that helps a lot. Helps sort things. So the things I can't do anything about, those are things I can let go. And the things that I can do something about, then I can start working backwards, like I talked before, and say, okay, well, change can present new opportunities and new challenges. So if it presents new challenges, then I can start working backwards and going, okay, what's the kind of thing I can do to rise to the challenge and accept this change into my life. I guess that might be even the first thing I do actually, is accept that change is happening instead of denying it. So that's a big one too.
That definitely happens a lot when change happens.
You're like, no, everything's the same. Yeah. It's like, no.
But being I don't want to say control freak, but I like to control things, and it really does come from fear of the unknown. And so change can be very fearful for me.
Yeah, for a lot of people, myself included. So it's definitely stuff. So the first thing I do is accept the fact that change is happening, and then I can
do a happy dance.
Do a happy dance. Okay. If it's a good change, happy dance. But yeah, it's like I have to take that pause and just really process the change, and then I can start thinking about, okay, how does this change affect me? How does it affect the ones I love and that kind of stuff? So Yeah, and when I find that I slow down and think about it in that light, it's not scary anymore, right? It's just it's just what's happening, and I don't know, that seems to really, really help. It doesn't bring up those old feelings of anxiety and stress and that kind of thing. So, and if I do start feeling those things and things start to get overwhelming, that's when I go back to my list of things and saying, okay, well, if this is the change that's happening, then what are the things I can control? What are the things I can't control? Forget about the things I can't control. Look at the things I can control. And now, what are small things I can do to guide that? And that really, really helps. So.
Awesome. I usually have dreams before a change happens too.
Well, you're intuitive like that. I am not. So.
But it can be scary though, having those dreams and knowing that a change happens. And
yes.
Luckily, I can predict. I know if it's going to be a happy, like if it's going to be something that makes me cry, and pulls at my heartstrings, or if it's going to be something that's exciting about the energy that's in my dream. But it's incredible because I can't always pinpoint what that change is going to be. I just
you just know it's coming.
Yeah.
Well,
still working on that one.
Is that better, do you think, or would it be better just to not know?
There's always going to be change, so like.
True, yeah. But like knowing a little bit about what the change is coming, is that what you think is better, or you're like, I wish I didn't have this?
These dreams can be very emotional, so it's hard to say which
Fair
one.
enough.
I guess I'll embrace this loving ability I have and honor it, and just
you're right. You know that it's something you can't change.
Yeah.
So it's something you have to accept.
So I'm gonna love it and just accept it as me as I am. And there's definitely been times where I'm like, oh, good, like a great change is happening or something. But like I said, these are very emotional dreams. Like the reason I know that they're meaningful is because I wake up feeling very emotional. So it's always an indication that that dream means something to me. So, yeah.
Something to look forward to in case you pass that on to our kids as well.
Oh, boy. Actually, their dreams stress me out, too. Because I'm like, are they sensing things? Because our daughter says things that I'm a little worried about. Like, is it a prediction? Or is it something that's underlining something else?
More change. She's starting to do that, a similar kind of thing.
So I got to help her figure out, like, to read her dreams a little bit more.
Wow. This is, yeah.
Change. Can you smell it in the air? Because it's April, so it's starting to.
Yes,
smell
starting to feel
nicer.
so much better and feel better, and
At least you're like Southern Ontario,
and get warmer.
Yeah.
But change is always happening around you, to you.
It's best to embrace it, like you said. Yes. I love that.
It's best to just embrace it and accept that it's happening. And then you can start processing what you can do about it.
And I really feel like the change, I want to just bring it back to my grandma selling her cottage again. That change, as emotional as it was, actually helped set other changes in our life in motion. Mm-hmm. And not bad changes either. Like, and not that my grandma selling the cottage was a bad change. We knew it was happening at some point. And she actually gave us huge warning, and we knew it was happening. It wasn't like out of the blue, because some changes are like you get sideswiped, and others you have warning, and this one, like, it just gave us time to reflect. And we're going to share about this next episode, where it gave us pause. It brought up emotions, but it gave me pause to honor where I'm at, and then what do I want next. Right? We got to really explore, and it really gave us some time to think and talk. And it's amazing. Once one change happens, I personally think it's a little easier to make another change. I'm like, why not change right now? Like, why not? Because you're already in the mess of a change. Why not catapult yourself into a new one? And I felt like it was, like I said, it was super emotional. And it was like, I had highs, I was low, I was a lot low, and then I was high and low, and then I found that middle ground, and then I felt empowered from this change to make a new change. Mm-hmm. And it's just really incredible. So stay tuned to next episode when we share about that change. We hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day.
Bye for now.